Chapter 176, Ammonite 1. Time slowly passed. The sunset today was even brighter than before. In fact, after looking at it for a long time, one would feel an indescribable strangeness. It was as though someone was painting with blood and smearing the sky. And in the blood, there seemed to be strands of golden threads. This scene even attracted the attention of the 7 blood-eyed 7 mountain peaks. Many cultivators who lived on the mountain walked out of their cave abodes and looked at the horizon with strange gazes. Many disciples from the various ports noticed this as well. As for Xu Qing, who was on his magic boat, he also noticed the abnormality of the red glow on the horizon. After observing many times, he sped up his explanation of the question senior sister Ding asked and kept the spirit ticket of 100 spirit stones in his pocket. He then looked at the horizon again. I seem to have seen this scene described somewhere before. Xu Qing recalled the sea wrecker he had seen and searched for the source of that familiarity. The red glow didn't last long and slowly dissipated, as though it wanted to use its beauty to retain the setting sun. However, the sun continued to set. Senior sister Ding noticed that it was getting late and could only bid farewell. However, before she left, she carefully sized up Xu Qing a few times. Her gaze suddenly froze. Previously, she didn't pay much attention to Xu Qing's cultivation. After observing him now, her expression changed slightly and she immediately spoke. Junior brother Xu, your cultivation, have you reached the great circle of perfection? Senior sister Ding's face revealed disbelief. Although Xu Qing had concealed his aura, it was obvious that the cultivation art Ding Xu cultivated was a little different. It seemed to be able to sense other people's spirit energy more clearly. Hence, after she sensed Xu Qing's cultivation fluctuations, her mind was in turmoil. She knew that Xu Qing was very strong, but the feeling her senses gave now had exceeded her expectations. The light in her eyes lit up. Junior brother Xu, since you are about to reach foundation building, do you have any understanding of it? Xu Qing swept a glance at senior sister Ding. He was a little vigilant about his cultivation being seen through. After shaking his head, he instinctively circulated the magic boat's defense, causing it to silently gain a hint of spirituality. I understand. Senior sister Ding smiled with joy. My aunt has mentioned these things to me countless times. As she spoke, Ding Xu searched her storage bag and took out 3 jade slips, handing them to Xu Qing. Xu Qing was stunned. He knew that the price of anything related to foundation building was extremely expensive in the sect. As he looked at the 3 jade slips in front of him, although he was extremely tempted, he understood that nothing in this world was free for no reason. In essence, everything was an exchange. How many spirit stones? Xu Qing asked. Ding Xu smiled when she heard this. Junior brother Xu, you're treating me like an outsider. Back then, if it wasn't for you at sea, it would have been very difficult for me to reach the Western Reef Archipelago so smoothly. With our shared experience at sea, this little thing is nothing. Besides, you also taught me a lot about vegetation. Also, with your cultivation, if it was any other core disciple, they would also try to be your friends. I just took the initiative. If you feel uneasy with this, then if I encounter danger one day in the future, how about you help me once? As she spoke, senior sister Ding placed the jade slips in her hand to the side. She didn't continue to disturb him and smiled. Like this, I will be the one taking advantage. Junior brother Xu, I'll take my leave first. With that, senior sister Ding left the magic boat after Xu Qing opened the protective barrier. When she stepped on the shore, she was in a very good mood. At this moment, she was anxious to share this matter. She took out her voice transmission jade slit as she walked and chatted happily with a few of her close friends from the sect. Unlike men, women's desire to share was very strong, especially when they met someone of the opposite sex who made their eyes light up. This was uncommon among the people who were struggling in the hardships of the human world. However, to core disciples who had been well protected since they were young, it was the norm. Just like the winter at the port was different from the winter in the Red Plains, the world was also different for different people. In reality, after she returned, she had long told her best friends about meeting Xu Qing when she went out. Her arrival this time was only because of the instigation of her best friends. You guys wait and see. I'll definitely take down this little Xu. While senior sister Ding was proudly transmitting her voice, Zhao Zhongning's figure finally appeared in port 79 and ran toward her. Senior Sister Ding, that Xu fella didn't do anything to you, right? Let me help you. Before he arrived, his voice had already entered Ding Zhu's ears. Ding Zhu frowned and glanced at Zhao Zhoneng. Her face was filled with impatience as she walked into the distance. Zhao Zhoneng hurriedly chased after her. Although Ding Zhu ignored him, he still followed behind with determination. Ding Zhu, sooner or later, you'll know that many people in your life are passers-by like birds. Only I, Zhao Zhoneng, will be like the sea, accompanying you without abandoning you. Once you're used to my company, you'll understand how important I am. So what if there are many passers-by, indifferent from those passers-by? Zhao Zhoneng had a determined expression. He looked at the magic boat Xu Qing was on. The jealousy he felt was intense. However, when he thought of how powerful the other party's cultivation was and how terrifying the captain of Team 6 was, he didn't dare to completely expose this expression. He could only grit his teeth inwardly. Isn't his face the only thing he has? Compared to my persistence and companionship, it's nothing. Time will prove everything.